The woman who spent her life freeing people died as the woman who burned them alive. Daenerys Targaryen freed more slaves than any leader in history. She was called Mother by millions. She turned the impossible into the inevitable. But here's what no one talks about. The same fire that made her a liberator is the fire that made her a tyrant. The same fire that frees, destroys. This is not about dragons or fantasy. It's about the dark psychology of power and why your greatest strength can burn down everything you love. By the end of this video, you'll see the trap that breaks every leader. You'll see why your greatest gift can become your biggest threat. And you'll learn how to keep your fire burning bright without burning it all to the ground. Daenerys Targaryen was born powerless. Her brother sold her like property. Her husband ignored her. The world saw her as nothing. But inside that broken girl, something burned. Not rage, purpose. When she freed her first slave, everything changed. She didn't crave power for its own sake. She used power to break the chains that trapped others. When she walked into fire and came out with dragons, she wasn't just reborn. She became a symbol no one could ignore. City after city fell, not for gold, not for fame, but for freedom. She gave people a choice. The unsullied could leave. The freed slaves could follow or walk away. They called her mother because she earned it. She became mother to millions who had never known freedom. That fire inside her, the need to protect the powerless, that was her superpower. But every superpower has a dark side. Here's where the danger starts. Every time she freed people, her brain gave her a reward. Praise is a drug. It releases dopamine, the same high as any addiction. At first, she freed people for them. Later, she freed people for the feeling. The worship, the praise, the titles. She stopped listening to her advisors. She stopped questioning herself. When Tyrion warned her, she brushed him aside. When Jorah begged for mercy, she ignored him. In Meereen, she crucified 163 masters. Some were innocent, but the slaves said it was justice, and that was enough. This is called moral licensing, when your brain justifies the bad because you did so much good. When you see yourself as the hero, you stop seeing your own flaws. That's when the fire starts burning out of control. This pattern didn't start with her. It's older than any throne. Julius Caesar freed Rome, then named himself dictator for life. Napoleon freed France, then crowned himself emperor. Steve Jobs revolutionized technology, then became known for crushing anyone who questioned him. Elon Musk promised to save humanity, then attacks critics as enemies of progress. Every revolution begins with freedom and ends when the liberator forgets who the fire is supposed to serve. The same fire that breaks chains often forges new ones. History shows us the fire never dies by itself. It only dies when it consumes its owner. Hold on. If you're watching this, you probably have fire burning inside you too. Maybe you're building a business that could change everything. Maybe you lead a team that looks up to you. Maybe you're fighting for a cause bigger than yourself. That fire is your superpower, but it's also hunting you. This channel exists to help leaders like you master the psychology of power, so you can keep your fire burning bright without losing your soul in the process. If you're ready to understand the game instead of just playing it, subscribe now, because what's coming next will show you exactly how that same fire turns heroes into the very monsters they swore to destroy. When Daenerys came to Westeros, the praise stopped. She wasn't the breaker of chains anymore. She was the foreign queen, the invader with dragons. They feared her, but they didn't love her. Her dragons died. Her friends were murdered. Jon Snow, the man she trusted, pulled away. She felt alone. The fire turned inward. Standing over King's Landing, she chose fear over love. If they won't love me, they'll fear me. She burned the city, not because she was insane, but because her fire had shifted. It no longer served freedom. It served her pride. The same fire that broke chains forged new ones. Here's the terrifying truth. Daenerys still believed she was the hero. Even as she burned children alive, she called it justice. She didn't see people. She saw obstacles. Her mission became her identity. Her identity became her pride. Her pride became her prison. The fire that once served others served her ego instead. And the scariest part, it felt right. That's what happens when your fire burns too hot and you lose yourself. This isn't about dragons, this is about you. You have fire, your passion, your drive, your mission. But fire tests you every day. Will it serve others, or will it serve your pride? Here's your fire audit. Ask yourself these questions. When you hear yourself say, "They should thank me. They don't get it. I know what's best." Be careful. That's when the fire flips. When was the last time you changed your mind about something important? When was the last time you admitted you were wrong? When was the last time you asked for advice instead of giving it? If you start ignoring advice, if you start seeing everyone who questions you as an enemy, if you start making excuses for crossing your own lines, your fire is changing you. If those questions made you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is your early warning system. The difference between a servant leader and a tyrant is simple. A servant leader asks, "How does my fire help them?" A tyrant asks, "Why don't they worship my fire?" Here's a question nobody asks. What if Daenerys had paused? What if she listened? What if she stepped back just once from her pride? Maybe Westeros would have a ruler who burned for the people, not just for herself. But she didn't pause. She didn't listen. And in the end, the fire won. No sword took her crown. Her own mind did. So what about you? What's your fire? What's the thing that drives you, but could destroy you if you stop watching it? Drop it in the comments. But more importantly, tell me about a time you caught your fire starting to turn. How did you pull it back? And if you want to see how Jon Snow kept his fire pure, subscribe. Remember this, your fire is your gift. Use it to rise, not to destroy. Keep it burning, keep it bright, but guard it, because the world needs your fire, not your ashes. You are worthy to rise.